Madison Taylor was the only daughter of Charles Taylor, a billionaire tech tycoon and founder of one of the most powerful AI corporations in Silicon Valley. Their home, in Palo Alto, California, was more like a palace than a house, gated, guarded, and filled with every luxury imaginable. Madison had the best tutors, the latest technology, and a team of elite physicians at her service. But all of it couldn't change one simple truth: she couldn't walk. Born with a rare neurological condition, she had never taken a single step in her life. She watched the world from behind glass windows and wheelchair wheels. Despite the state-of-the-art wheelchair, crafted by the brightest engineers, Madison's life was defined by stillness. The chair could climb stairs, tilt, rotate, and even be voice-controlled, but it could never give her what she truly wanted: freedom. She spent her days reading, sketching, or watching other children her age on TV, going to school, playing sports, and living lives she could only imagine. Her world felt like a beautifully decorated cage, where everyone was trying to make her comfortable, but no one could make her feel alive, and slowly she had stopped hoping for more. Charles Taylor, though a loving father, believed in science and logic more than emotion. He often traveled for business, attending global summits, tech launches, and investor meetings. He hired the world's best specialists for Madison, sparing no cost, but in his quest for medical miracles, he failed to see the emotional emptiness creeping into his daughter's eyes. To him, her condition was a problem that needed a high-tech solution, something to be solved with research, funding, and the right team. So, when Madison's wheelchair began making strange clicking sounds one morning, he simply told his assistant, "Get it fixed fast." His assistant couldn't find the original engineers on short notice, so out of desperation, she called a local specialist, someone with good reviews online but no flashy credentials. That's how Miguel Ramirez entered their lives, a humble mechanic from Oakland. Miguel usually worked on classic cars and motorcycles, not high-tech medical equipment. He arrived at the mansion in a dusty pickup truck, wearing oil-stained jeans and a plain white T-shirt. The guards almost turned him away, but Miguel walked in quietly, toolbox in hand, unaware that he was about to change Madison Taylor's life forever. Miguel Ramirez had never seen the inside of a mansion before. Born and raised in a working-class neighborhood in Oakland, he spent his life fixing broken things in his father's small, cluttered garage. He didn't have college degrees or high-end clients, but he had something rarer: patience, passion, and an instinctive understanding of how machines worked. When he was called to fix a billionaire's wheelchair, he expected a short, routine visit. But the moment he stepped into Madison Taylor's room and saw her sitting quietly, her eyes distant, he felt something shift inside him. This wasn't just a machine, this was her world. Miguel examined the chair carefully and found that while it was technologically advanced, it lacked emotional intelligence. The parts were expensive, but the design ignored comfort and personality. It was cold, mechanical, and clinical, to built more like a robot than a part of someone's life. As he worked, he spoke gently to Madison, asking her how it felt, what she wished it could do, and what made her uncomfortable. For the first time in years, Madison spoke openly, not to a doctor, not to a therapist, but to someone who truly listened. Miguel began to tweak the chair's structure to respond more naturally to her posture, gestures, and touch. But the biggest change came when Miguel installed a neural feedback system he had secretly developed years ago, inspired by his late sister, who had also been wheelchair-bound before she passed. Miguel had built a prototype that could read microsignals from the brain and translate them into motion. No one had ever taken his idea seriously. He was just a mechanic after all. But here, in the quiet of Madison's room, he saw his chance. With her father away on a business trip, Miguel spent 3 days carefully integrating his system into the chair. Madison was nervous but curious, and when she finally sat in the upgraded chair, something extraordinary happened. Her hand twitched, Her fingers moved. She gasped. Miguel encouraged her gently, and to their astonishment her legs shifted beneath her. Slowly, shaking but determined, Madison pressed down with her feet and pushed herself up. For the first time in her life, she stood on her own. Just then, Charles Taylor walked in. He froze, watching his daughter standing, unsteadily, tears running down her face. His phone slipped from his hand. "How?" he whispered. Miguel didn't explain technology. He simply said, "Sometimes you don't need millions, just someone who truly cares."